So I'll just introduce very quickly. This project is called Comics Connections. It was produced and initiated by Alexander. And it's the second year that I'm involved in this, and the third year that I'm involved with this festival, so I feel very lucky. It takes place as part of a bigger event, the 24-hour comic marathon, which takes place in this physical library. And the idea is, it's an event that happens in October. The official date is October 6th, but during October globally, where comics creators come together to support each other through the night while they make a comic, 1 page per hour for 24 hours. And the official rules, as the founders declared it, is that the comic also has to be printed, bound, and stapled within those 24 hours, but nobody is able to do that, only superhuman creators like Jeroen Funke from Amsterdam, if you know him. So Scott McLeod and Stephen Bissett are the people that started it, and I think, and I told this in the previous session, that for me it really is not just fun and wild exercise to do for creators, but it really symbolizes what comics mean to me, which is that more than the final project, the most important thing that this medium allows for is the physical connection and the immediate connection of people who, and I think everybody who, all the 20 creators that were involved this year in this project can attest to, that you become immediate friends. If you share a physical challenge together, like creating something very quickly and doing it for a marathon, and you have to share a story and build it together, there's a true friendship no matter where you are and what your background is and how old you are. You become instant friends. I think the result, which I really urge you all to collect, is these 10 books, which have double covers and hold together a story which every pair chose in which way it connects. It can be thematically or even visually in a shared spread. 2 stories which tell 2 sides of wild adventure, but also represent creators from different parts of the globe. I think it's very special, and I'm very glad the Comics Library sponsors it. So what I'll do is I'll introduce you to the 3 pairs of artists that, and there will be another session after this where we will see pairs of European artists and American artists. The previous sessions connected artists from Europe and artists from Thailand. I'll start by introducing this book. It's free, you can get it, and it's lovely. The Sea's Lament and Secret, and you can come, if you read this book, you can come. Yes. Please sit so the frame can catch you.
Here?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Camille and Jan, and this project, we asked them to tell a little bit about themselves and also choose, each one chose an object, and the object had to appear in both stories. So what I would like is to first just say a quick sentence about where you live, your name, what you do in the other 364 days which aren't this day, and then we'll talk about your stories.
Okay, want to start?
Okay, I can start. So I'm Camille. I'm from Bydgoszcz, which is not far from Poznań, just hour and a half by train. So it's like I still feel home here, and yeah, I self-publish some comics. I'm currently working on a longer series with a publisher, and I I started rather recently, like a couple of years ago. During the pandemic, I made my first comic, and I haven't stopped doing them. So yeah, I was invited to that project, and I was very happy to take part in it.
Hello, and I'm Jan Vaněk. I'm from Czech Republic, and I do illustrations and graphic design for a living. I almost do some posters, T-shirt designs, and I like to creating some short stories or strips and jokes and things like that. And that's how I get through comics, through the simple jokes, and then I extended more and more the jokes that became stories. And what was that other parts of questions?
Oh, yeah. Now I just maybe it would be, these are very unusual objects that you chose. Can you tell that your personal significance, what they mean to you?
What?
Jan, you chose earplugs.
Yes, because I discovered that these things are extremely helpful for concentrate or for to focus. So when my sister's children came for a weekend to our house, then the house was full of scream and things like that. So I like earplugs, like immediately quiet, if we want, and even for sleeping, it's like I decide when I want to get up, not by disturbing the screaming or some other sounds. So that's why I choose earplugs, because it's practical or something like that.
And you chose the jar, so the things that are on the earplugs don't. You can close them, and it's more sanitary.
Yeah.
No, but sorry.
If I knew Jan would chose earplugs, that
Yeah,
would
they
be a
didn't
nice
know
reason.
in advance.
Yeah, I just thought it's a nice starting point for a story, because you can hold many things in a jar, and it also doesn't does not suggest any particular setting, because jars are they were invented a long time ago, and we still use them, so you can make a story in the past, a story in the present, and I thought like maybe it would spark some good ideas.
Yeah, and I think some of the stories you'll see, like in their particular project, this really informed what the story is about. So let's dive in. This is the double cover. Camille's title is The Sea's Lament and Secret by Jan. And this is what it looked like. And so we'll start with The Secret. While I flip through, just can you describe the story a little bit, and also your process or anything you want to share?
Yes, of course. That story tells simply it's just a story about the guy who got some problem, or he done some mistake in the work, or it can be any other secret that he have, and to relieve the tension, he tell it to the jar, and how he hold it in the jar for longer and longer time, it becomes bigger and bigger, and it's more and more difficult to hide that secret, and And in the end, it became a disaster for that guy. It's over like a hyperbolic story about how can be the problems not overpriced. It can seems to be bigger than it is, and sometimes if you are alone on that problem, you can feel like you are drowning down if you don't solve them. So it was the main purpose.
And I just want to share the things that I find about this project that are very exciting for me is that the jar, like you said, the jar is a very general. It's and it informs a secret, but through your style, and I think this is true about your style in general. I'll use my expandable spoon. I just my favorite frames are even it's an epic story about a secret, but all the frames of the toothpaste getting placed over here, and just this jar has attitude. It's a very specific jar that you can feel this whole rhythm of the story, and I love how someone else's objects is taken into this story, and when I see it, how the jar and the character both have similar characteristics, and the giant jar, it's just magical moments for me. Okay, so this is also very interesting. This is where the stories collide, and you chose to do, because the book is flipped, this jar is sent deep into the waters, and that's where your story takes off. The Sea's Lament.
Okay, yeah. So, to be honest, the idea behind the comic is, or maybe the main inspiration is that I really like the movie The Lighthouse by Robert Eggers, and I was thinking about doing something. Well, it's not very similar, but the setting is similar. The characters are, well, they are light housekeepers, and they are sailors, but the vibe is in general similar. And I was thinking about doing some horror story about some people at sea. There's I think this they are solitary on this weird in this fog on an open sea. I think that's for some people might be scary. I think it is for me. I'm rather afraid of deep waters because we don't know what's really in there. So
jars.
Yeah, it's not very. It's a rather simple story, and it's not very. It's rather obvious what it is. But I was just trying to convey this feeling of going into something unknown and dangerous. And so that was my idea behind it. And when I heard about the earplugs, I thought about sirens singing, and so you can protect yourself from them using earplugs, and that basically came together and resulted in that comic.
So here the stories also connect. And I have just one last question before we go to the other pair. I'm just curious, and also it's an opportunity. Does this kind of storytelling have to do with the art and the books that you make? Are these the kind of stories? How is this connected to the scope of your work? And also, what did it feel like working together?
Yeah. Okay. I can go first.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, I often make stories that are maybe not like full. Sometimes I make horror comics, and sometimes I make comics that have horror elements, or maybe just some eerie elements, not really scary, but like they come from horror genre, some monsters, things like that. So, but I like to change the setting in my works. I think I take inspiration from different things, and short stories in comics I think are a good opportunity to explore some things that maybe you can try different things, many different things, because you make a comic that is like 12 pages long, and you can get this idea out, and you know, and you can say you tried it, you made something in this, I did something that I wanted to do for a long time. Like I said, this story inspired by the movie, and I try to use these opportunities in this way, to explore some ideas that maybe I have in the back of my head, but don't really have time to do them otherwise.
And for you? Like,
can you repeat the question, please?
Oh, if you can go into a little more depth of how this type of storytelling is connected to your work. You said you like to expand jokes into narratives, or just how does it fit into your other work?
I try to not change my drawing style or something. I just felt like at this time I'm gonna just having fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I tend to just simplify the things, like hands, eyes, and even the forms of the body and things like that. Just I was thinking about it like when you get it from clay modeled the things, and without care you just draw that simply and roughly, and it gave me so much speed that I really could do it 1 page per hour. Mm-hmm. And I really like when in the illustrations are the black spaces. It really could help any picture. Mm-hmm. If there are some black spaces, it's it look nice for the eye, and yes.
Just to remark that I think it's a very good tool. Just in general, for me, it's interesting of how usually when we come to make books, because making graphic novels is such a long time, sometimes it takes 2 to 5 years to work on one novel. We sort of have like the heaviness of planning it and changing it and going back to the characters. And I just want to, after you said it, to note like one of the talks that inspired me most is by Linda Berry, an American cartoonist. And she has a book giving exercise for comics. And she says that when she teaches comics, she teaches us that comics at its best is a form of thinking. And she tries to get people, like you see in movies when there's a scientific problem and astronauts have to save the Earth from getting hit by an asteroid. The main scientist, there's always a scene where he takes a piece of chalk and he starts writing really fast, and it's like all mathematical equations. And she said that's for her what she wants drawing to be, that you write at the speed of your thought and you write from your subconscious. And if you are a skilled enough creator and you have a training that you know enough for it to be communicative, you're also not censoring yourself, and you're getting like to this the more you minimize your ability to stop yourself, you get to really good things.
You described probably the almost time how I felt in this this story. That my criteria or my purpose was just explain things as simply as is recognizable.
Yeah.
So if I do some scribbles, like if you see that crossed hands here,
Yeah.
so I try just imagine that two pointy things together and how it probably fold together. And if it's recognizable, it's enough. It doesn't have to be too beautiful or too fancy. And it's exactly how you said, how you described that feeling by that outro.
Okay, so just one last thing about the story. I really think there's like this magic of the connecting the two stories, that each one informs the other and gives it another layer of like your horror rendering make this very ominous. And also that I find it really amazing as a reader to see how you took a subject matter that's so, like, it has the secret, something that is one of the most hard things to articulate, but it's, as a scribble, we really feel it. So I think I'll conclude by saying this is one of the must books that you should get, and thanking you very much. And then we'll go on to the next pair.
Can I say one thing
sure.
more?
Yes.
I
Look at the clock.
no when I saw this or like that when I've done this story, I realized that everyone who starts to read this story could make this more interactive when you imagine something your issue, and if you read that with that in your mind, you probably much more. It got this 3D effect to this story, and much more care about you. You much more care about the jar if you read it.
I definitely agree. Okay, so let's go to pigeons.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Agi and Zoltán. I hope you talk very fast because I messed up with the time. So I'll ask you the same questions.
Okay.
But we'll have to do it fast. So, Agi, where are you from and what do you do?
I'm from Hungary. Hello, and thank you for the invitation. And I'm illustrator and illustrating children books and young adult books, or every kind of books, and drawing comics. And maybe this is, except my childhood comics, this is the first maybe when I wrote the story. I mean that to think the storyboard about, and other, a friend of mine from our childhood, he's the author for other comics I draw for.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, I am Štěpán Lipus. I'm from Czech Republic, currently living in Pilsen, and I studied in University of Graphic Design, in Faculty of Graphic Design and Arts, and now currently I'm working in a gallery, and I'm trying to, in my free time, I'm trying to freelance, draw some illustration, comics, also painting, whatever. Also mural painting in the streets.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you chose fried egg. So we had bacon in the series in the last session.
This is a very funny thing behind this story, because this when I chose this object, it was just a quick memory to my former flatmate Jan Matsku, and he loved fried eggs as a breakfast and as a lunch, as a all of the time of the day. He cooked fried eggs, and also maybe with bacon. Sometimes with bacon, it depends on his financial situation. So this was the funny thing, because it came from Honza, and Honza connected with bacon, which was absolutely without some communication between each other.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So those of you, Jan is another participant of this project from the previous session, and theirs was bacon. But I couldn't. I really wanted to put them together, but I couldn't because they were both from Czech Republic, and that's not in the rules. But I'm very happy with this result, because this is one of the wildest comics you will ever read. So it's well, you will see in a minute. So why a pigeon, a post pigeon?
Yes. So why?
Yeah, you chose
because it was a spontaneous idea. I love animations and funny or full with gags, and it was just a character that the movie started in my head, some funny situation, and it was such a everyday bird in a city, so opposite things maybe. So I can't explain sometimes why I'm curious about the character, but then I start drawing, and all the story begins, and I can't stop with drawing, and okay, it will be the character for that.
So let's start very briefly. We have.
Okay.
Yes. Tell us about your story.
Yeah.
As briefly as possible.
Yes. Okay.
This way you have to get it.
Okay. So when I got it that other object will be fried egg. Oh my God, what to do with this? And pigeon post, what to do with what to deliver. So I didn't really know, and just once again spontaneous came this idea that this is a very exhausted post pigeon, and burned out because of his job, and when you are burnt out you have sometimes very bad dreams and so on, and okay, let's make this two panas each after each other that two fried eggs like the eyes, and then I can make a shift, and yeah, so I like to draw some hints in my comics, so some signs, for example the sheep postcard. So pigeon likes traveling, but because of his job he don't have any time, and after this bad dream he decided, okay, I go away, go to a journey, and delivery is some kind of delivery he has no idea about it, so it's during the whole journey he don't know about that he's delivering something, in spite that yes, and the story is in Italy, because and we didn't talk about it, but both of us were thinking about some kind of silly and
city,
yes, and so once sorry, just a moment. Dog mafia is a misunderstanding, and they want to get some kind of delivery from another pigeon, but they know that he is the pigeon that no. And the other gang is a gang of cats from very bad districts, and so two kind of gangs are following the pigeon, so it's a very chaotic thing. And at the end, they didn't get what they wanted. It was Stefan's idea, the magic croissant, what is giving the superpower, and but the pigeon had accidentally 2 croissants, and the average croissant will be taken by a giant. Which kind of bird is it? In Scotland, there are some aggressive birds taking your food. Yes, seagulls. Yeah. So, and the pigeon will eat a magic croissant and writing so Monsieur's the postcard to the relatives or something like that. I don't know. So it's very tiring and silly. sorry for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's drawn amazing. I mean, there's so many details. I hope you're seeing them, but you can look up close. And so the story connects in just the magical element. And do you want to talk us through your story?
Yeah. First of all, I'm really satisfied with the result of our cooperation with Agi, because we tried to applicate same methods in our comics. And even some aspects are simply randomly here twice. So that's nice. For example, the aspect of some gangsters, which are in both stories. And briefly about my story, it's a short story about a very poor family of the pigeons living in the streets, rough life in the streets, and they are always complaining about their conditions of living. But everything changed when the youngest member of the family finds a job as a post officer, in a pigeon post, and he tries to help his family to better life. But he's very good post officer. He's fast and professional. He knows the city very well. So because of it, he meets one friends of him from the past, from his teenage times, and he's a gangster. He's a bad guy from bad district, and he offers him special offer. He makes him a special offer he can't refuse, for a lot of money, for his whole salary, one year salary. And it's simply to just deliver one mystery box, whereas the special croissant, as Agi said, magical croissant, which can make you the strongest animal of the planet. So and it's for one of the biggest bosses in the city, but it's just for one use, and it's logical, because when you change to a strongest animal on the planet, to a lion, it's very dangerous to be in a company with other lions, because it can be a disaster. And it's just some metaphor of power and power between more people. it's same as animals. So happily the end is good for our main protagonist Pedro, because he at the end of the story he just profit from the situation, take the bag full of money and leave the place where the lions are fighting dad and mom and the boss. And yeah, that's the end of the story.
Amazing, thank you. Okay, so one last pair for today. You can see like how far these stories go by the fact that two people are connected. They become like really wild. And this is a really okay. So wait. Oh no, what did I do? No. Okay, so you'll see that this is a great story. Let's dive right in. Okay, so tell us just very quickly where you're from.
Hi, I'm Ola. I'm from Poland, Poznań, this city right now. And I just started doing little comics. I'm finishing my master in painting, so that's what right now I like to do. And
hello, I'm Zoltán Koska. I'm from Hungary, Albertirsa. It's near Budapest, and well, I'm a freelance animator and documentaries and cartoon series, and I make comics next to it and mostly self-publish it since 2008. I like doing it.
And you chose a candle and bicycle?
yes, I chose candle because I like, well, I was thinking about scented candles, but I know that normal candles can be applied to any kind of story. It can be horror or fantasy or comedy, whatever, because candles are like very universal. So that was my idea.
Yeah, well, my idea was like because I wanted to reuse my characters, and I wrote a story which was a combination of a childhood bicycle accident and an homage to Kiki's delivery service with the bicycle, and I felt that I may try to draw bicycle again, but then you said that that's one of the hardest things to draw, and I didn't realize that.
It's really hard to draw.
But Ola solved it.
Yeah. Okay, so let's dive right in. This is a wild one. So let's start with yours.
Okay.
Tell us about it.
My story, because I wanted to talk with Zoltán that we probably do this kind of light-hearted stories. I wanted something comedic, and I personally like very much of maybe not parody, but on something on the verge of parody of this classical horror tropes. So I chose a story about a group of teenagers that really want to pass an exam at school. So as you do, they decided to call some otherworldly eldritch being to ask for help. And they try numerous times because they have these DIY products to use, to call it, and this home kit. So they call this being, and in his grace he decided that sure, I will help you, but you need to help me find the right place. They travel the city, not world. They travel the city, they look for the place. He thinks about renting it, they think they will do something magical, and in the end all are, I guess, content because he gets his place to rent for some horror stuff, and they got the wish. Well, they lost the soul, but at least the exam will be passed. So.
And do you have to pay attention to this character, which shows up in the middle of the ritual, and you'll see him shortly. Zoltán.
Yeah. Mine is about these two characters I created earlier ago. It's about this. It starts with an alien landing on planet Earth. He needs to recharge his spaceship. Yeah, and we cut to these two kids. They are trying this new candy out, but it's like the flavor is so strong, and it's like a bad LSD trip. I wanted to incorporate like the pumpkin head and the raccoon from all last comics.
I'll skip back. You see the raccoon. The raccoon is also part of this gang. Raccoons and rituals, I think, is something that has to go together always. It's amazing.
Yeah, because Ola told me that they will have this ritual, and I was thinking about this LSD trip, and we can connect these motifs together, like gateways to other dimensions or something like that. And they decide to go on bike trip to, I don't know, to clear their heads out. They go to this abandoned little house that is real. I made photos of it, and I made photos about this abandoned house, and I thought that would be a cool place. I wanted to use it, and they just start fooling around, and they find this hedgehog, and it's revealed that this hedgehog is the alien, and he gets back to his spaceship, and they think the bad trip is still going, so they just throw away that candy and never talk about it again.
So
Finish this old the house he took pictures. It's my characters like going in, his characters are like living this place, so that's the collection.
Yes.
I just want to point out as also someone just looking at the process from the side, and just to finish off with this idea that I also think is and I talked about this in the earlier session, is that comics is this like journey that you go on, that the most exciting thing that can happen to you when you make art is not knowing where you're going. And there's something about working with someone else, and as a reader of these comics you can also really experience it viscerally, that you use like the method of a character going through a journey or going through an urban space. We saw it in the other comics as well, that is so inherent to this medium of just walking through the grid and discovering everything that comes out of the page, and trying to like reach someone else that is very specific sitting opposite you. And that's why most of these comics, if you look at them, they have a theme of like a journey, even though it's very short. The journeys are really wild, and they go all the way to space and all the way to in the middle of the forest. It's kind of like a maze, and that's it. So that's all we have time for. I really recommend getting these books if you can, and coming to meet the other creators in the next session. And I think you guys will be signing them, am I correct?
We were signing.
You were, oh shit.
We were, I don't know.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we must all now take candles and raccoons and go back 1 hour to get our book signed through a ritual of time, space travel, or do something else. Any questions before?
So how was it? Did you enjoy it in general? for me it was very, very nice experience because I never worked on this kind of stuff with someone, and probably the most also to see the creating process of the different people completely, like everyone has their own style of working from what they start and what they do. So to see that, it was also very like learning stuff for me.
It was also nice because I wanted to try out that am I able to create 22 pages in 22 hours, because I used to participate in Angoulême in 24-hour comic book day, but I'm a bit older and burned out more, so it was more like 20 hours instead of 12 hours working on. But I wanted to be fast with it.
For the rest of you, this, you know, the other person so here, was it fun? Yeah.
Yes, completely new experience for me. I have never did something like that, and I really enjoyed. It was extremely. It was a very, very creative day for me because I finished mural painting that day, like 6 hours of painting outside, and then I came home and started working on this marathon. So then I took one day off because I was totally exhausted, and but I was happy inside.
I'm not gonna lie, I was exhausted, and I was sitting on the medical wall, and I think I was sitting like days and days and days because my back was hurting when I was in one position for a while. So I was doing this like that, and it's nice to see that if you clean or avoid your perfectionism, that maybe you are able to do extraordinary things or in an extraordinary time. It's nice to see that if you got that deadline, that you can choose the ways how is possible to do that. Like analytic, you can have your something like have your to-do list, which things you can clear out, and which things basic you can leave there for sticking together that story together, and not to fall apart, and not to let it fall apart or something like that. Because it's exhausting.
I just have to name drop Kyoto Wilberg's No Pain, a book for cartoonists about how to mend pain when they treat yourselves like athletes, and all the exercises in pain avoidance. It's a very important book for anyone doing comics or 24-hour comics.
I think from our side, Unka Ogia may be interested in attending that because she always has many advice about it.
Also, just to wrap up, and I think it's also like being accountable for like when you're doing something for someone or with someone, it's also like one extra push that takes you further than your own abilities, which I think is very special. Okay, so we are told to leave. I have lots of giveaways and stuff and books, but I'll do it outside.